everyone, it is Dorianne from yourcareergirl.com, and this is a live stream for September the 8th, 2017, and today's topic is how to pregame your job search. So this is something that I'm really excited to talk about. I have some really good information for you. If you are in an active job search, or you're thinking about starting a job search, or you know someone that is about to do a job search or in a job search, then you'll want to stick around. You'll want to listen in to this Facebook Live so that you can get the tips and the tools that you need to really make sure that your job search gets off on the right foot. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to waste weeks and months, years potentially trying to look for a job or trying to tap into that job that you truly want to be in, and it doesn't work out because you didn't set it up in the right way in the beginning. So that's the point of this live stream today. I want to give you 4 tips that you should be thinking about, 4 pieces of strategy that you should use before you even start your job search. So before you update any resumes, before you submit any applications, before you do any of that, before you talk to any recruiters, there are some things that you need to do to make sure that your job search is on the right foot. So that's what I want to talk about today. So hey to the replay viewers. I'm just going to give a few moments for any live viewers to come on, but we have some good information to talk about today. Happy Friday. So happy that it's Friday. This has been a tough week. So happy that we've made it to the end of the week, and just thought that before the weekend starts, wanted to give you this information so that you can look over it, kind of put your strategy together over the weekend and then hit the ground running for your job search. So that's what we are here for today. So welcome again to my replay viewers. Thank you for checking this out. Thank you for, taking the time to really do what you need to do to set your career up on the right foot. So welcome, welcome. Before we get started, again, today's topic, how to pregame your job search. Before I get started with the 4 tips that I have for you, just want to tell you a little bit about myself in case this is your first time on the Your Career Girl page, or if your first time being introduced to me. Again, my name is Dorianne St. Fleur, and since 2010, I have been in HR, so I'm an HR professional. I am also a career strategist and an executive coach. I help, high achieving and ambitious women really take their careers to the next level. So I am the creator of yourcareergirl.com, and it's an online agency that is about all things career empowerment for women. So, my ideas have been featured in Forbes and Huffington Post, in Working Mother, The Muse, all on and on. So you can just basically Google me, go to yourcareergirl.com just to get a sense of my ideas on career. So that's a little bit about me, and I really want to jump into today's topic. So how did it come about that I wanted to talk about pre-gaming your career? Well, yesterday on in the Career Success Circle, which is my private Facebook group that I have. If you're not a member, go ahead and join. But after you watch this live stream, one of the members asked me, she said, I am looking to move out of state within the next year. Is it too early for me to start my job search? And I thought that was a really good question, because I think a lot of times when people are looking to move or looking to change industries, or they're looking to do something, make a big shift in their career, they assume that it's going to take, it may happen quickly, and that they don't want to start getting leads on jobs, and then they don't, they're not ready to move, or whatever case it is. So they think like, should I start now? What should I wait? What should I do? And so my advice to her kind of is what prompted me to have this conversation with you today. So when you're thinking about your job search, it's more than just, let me submit an application. Let me go on monster.com or indeed.com and see what's available and hit submit, and then someone will call me in 2 weeks, and then I'll go on an interview, and then I'll get the job. If you've been in a job search recently, that's not the case. That's not how it works. That's not how it goes. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of, missed opportunities and people not calling back and recruiters falling off the face of the earth and maybe you're not hearing back. There's a lot of things that happen. And the reason why so many people, the average job search takes like 3 months, and that's on the lower end. Really, it's more like 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. The reason why the process takes so long is because people are not setting themselves up for success in the beginning. They are not creating a strategy for themselves to pregame, as I like to call it, their job search. So that's what I want to talk about today. So, when I think back in my college days, back when, before life got so serious and back when I used to have a lot more fun, whenever my friends and I were going out for the night, if we were going to a club or going to dinner, going to a lounge, we always used to pregame. And pregame is, like, the idea of pregaming is pretty much setting the tone for the rest of the night. So we would play music, it would be high tempo, maybe, obviously Beyonce, just whatever. We were in Atlanta, so y'all remember how the Atlanta music used to be. Just really put you in a mood, makes you want to get excited and get happy. And so we used to do makeup, we used to have some drinks, we used to talk, really would just unwind and get yourself in the right mindset to go have a good time. If we were at school all day, we had classes, like a lot of things going on, whatever stress would happen. The pregame was like the break from real life, the break from everything else that was going on, and then from the night we were going to have. It was like the buffer in between those two. So no matter what happened in the day, no matter what you were going through, you knew that during the pregame, that was the time to get it all off your chest, to turn over a new leaf, to get yourself together, and then let's go out, let's be in a good mood and have a great night. And so you're probably like, okay, so what does this have to do with career, right? I'm not suggesting that you go and, have some drinks or get drunk before you start your career search. But what I am suggesting is that you use the same principles about kind of setting a breaking point from whatever's going on in your career, whatever you've done in the past, whatever you don't like about your current job or whatever. Maybe you've been in a search for a few months at this point and you're not getting the traction you want. Let's start a clean break. So let's pregame now. Let's take this moment to figure out, all right, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to accomplish? What do I want to achieve? And what steps do I need to take to get there? So that's what this idea of pregaming is. And there are four tips that I have for you that really make up a good pregame for you if you're looking to find a new job. And so I want to go through each one of them for you. So think about it as setting the tone for your career search. Now, this has nothing to do with, I want to emphasize the point, this has nothing to do with the resume. So I'm not going to talk to you about preparing your resume. I'm not going to talk to you about interview tips. I'm not going to talk to you about, going which job boards to search for. That has its place in the job search, but that's not the pregame part. The pregame part is, how do you set the right tone? How do you get yourself in the right mindset for the search that you're about to have? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So step one, the first thing you need to do when you're pre-gaming is you need to get clear on whether it is you are running away from something in your current career or running towards something in your next career. Now, this may seem like the same thing on the surface, but it's really not. So think about the fact that if you're in your job right now and you don't enjoy what you're doing, you are unfulfilled for whatever reason, and you're like, that's it, I'm at my breaking point, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to do something else, I no longer want to do this. You're going to start thinking of all the negativity that's going on. You're going to think about the fact that you don't like your boss, that the work you're doing is boring, that your coworkers are annoying, your commute is long. You start to think of all the negative things that are happening in your career, and you're like, okay, my next job, I got to make sure this is not happening. I got to run away because this is just not working for me, so I just need to do something else. Think about the mindset you're in when that's the premise of your job search. It's rooted in running away from something. It's rooted in, I got to get away from this negativity. So you're probably just going to be searching for jobs. You're not going to really be that strategic. You're just like, anything is better than this. So you're just running away from the current situation. But on the flip side, if you're going towards what it is that you're supposed to do next. So even in the same situation, you don't like what you're doing, you're unfulfilled, your manager is this. taking the time to think about, all right, I don't like what I'm doing now, but what is it that I do want to do? What does my next job look like? What things do I need to have? What are my non-negotiables? When you're thinking about it in that way, you're no longer running away from anything. You're now moving towards your next step in a strategic and deliberate way. And anyone who knows me, any of my clients, any of my students, anyone who I talk to about career know that my favorite words are strategic, deliberate, and intentional. That is the foundation. That is the secret sauce, the secret ingredients for career success in general, but especially a successful job search, is to be strategic. And so you don't want to just run away and be, feel like desperate, have a desperate search where just anything will do, get me out of this situation. You want to take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about, what is it that I actually want? And that process of what is it that I actually want that will help you move towards your next step leads me to tip number 2. You need to create your career profile. Now, a career profile, it basically consists of what your dream job would be. And DREAM is an acronym, DREAM. The D is for development. So when you think about your next role, what sort of training and development opportunities do you want it to have? Think about if you want them to do tuition reimbursement, and what sorts of skills you want to build upon. How do you want the culture to be? Do you want it to be a learning and teaching culture? What sort of things do you need for your own growth and development in your career? That's the D in DREAM. The R is for relationships. Whether that be relationships with your boss, relationships with your coworkers, relationships with clients or vendors or whoever you're going to interact with in your new position, what kind of relationship do you thrive best in? This is different from what kind of people you don't want to work with, and I don't want to be around this person. You see, that's the running away from mentality. When you think about what I'm going towards, you're phrasing the question in, okay, how do I thrive? In what sorts of situations, interpersonal situations, do I thrive best in? And that helps you piece together what your dream profile is when you think about the relationships, and helps you be forward looking and not, focus on the past and what's not working. So the R is for relationships. The E is for engagement. How do you want to be engaged in your work? What excites you when you think about past jobs that you've had, or past volunteer experiences, or things that you've done? When are you the most engaged? What are you doing? Are you working in a team? Are you an individual contributor? Are you managing people? Are you writing? Are you speaking? Like, what is it about your job that makes you feel like you're really engaging and really working at your best and thriving and really operating in your strengths? You want to think about that as well. The A is for acknowledgement. How do you like to be recognized? No matter how old you get, acknowledgement and recognition is not just for kids. No matter how old you get, you need to be acknowledged for the work that you're doing. No, it may not mean, getting a plaque or getting an award, or someone, sending you an email saying, oh, you did a great job. But what does it mean for you to be acknowledged? Does that mean that, you get a promotion every few whatever time frame that is appropriate for you? Does that mean that you are, given some sort of certificate, or what does acknowledgement mean for you? Does it mean that, someone just simply saying thank you? How do you like to be recognized? And think about that in a way that, what has worked for you in the past in your career, maybe what didn't work and how could it have been differently. But think about acknowledgement. This is something that people don't necessarily think about when they're going through their job search. So think about the acknowledgement. And so we talked about development, we talked about relationships, we talked about engagement, acknowledgement, and the M is money. So money is a part of your job fulfillment and satisfaction as well. How much do you want to make? How much do you deserve? What's the going rate for the role that you're going to be applying for, the role that you're going to be moving into? Do your research. Go to salary.com and payscale.com and all of these sites that are out there. The internet provides so much information now that's at your disposal, and make sure that you're clear on what's out there. So that's tip number 2. Set up your dream career profile. And again, DREAM stands for development, relationships, engagement, acknowledgement, and money. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is really start to think about what roles and what companies you're going to target in your search. Now that you know what you're moving toward, you know what kind of career or kind of role you want to move toward, you're clear on what your dream career profile is. Now use that information. See, all this stuff builds on each other. Use that information to now say, okay, these are the job descriptions, these are the roles that will help me get to my goal. It will help me with my dream. It will help me attain my dream job profile. What companies are in line with what you want? We do it backwards. A lot of times, like if you're looking for jobs or if you've had job searches, you're probably working backwards. You're starting with companies or job titles by just going on these job boards and seeing what's available, putting in your current titles, seeing what comes up, and then working your way from there and trying to weed through and say, okay, this company looks like it might work. This role sounds similar to what I'm doing. Maybe that'll work. You're not really working in a strategic way. So the whole point of this process is that you're in the driver's seat. You're in control. You're starting from the beginning. You're now going to use the information that you've gathered from your own reflections about what you want and about what your dream profile is, and use that to inform, okay, based on this, these are the roles that make sense. You're going to read through the job descriptions and you're going to get a sense of the company culture, and you'll start to fill in the blanks as far as how this company and how this role relates to your dream job profile. So these are all things, again, that are done even before you've submitted your first application, before you've done anything to actually start the process. This is pre-gaming your process so that you can set yourself up for success. So you want to look and create a list of target opportunities and target companies that you want to work through and you want to figure out and learn more about what opportunities are there. And the fourth tip, my last tip, is to start networking. So now that you know what these target companies are and you know what those roles are, go on LinkedIn, go in your personal network and start to talk to people who are at these companies or who are doing these jobs or who are at similar companies or doing similar jobs. Get a sense for what is it really like in this opportunity? What is it really like in this role? This is a huge part of the job search process that is just missed. And even if people do network for their job search, they do it kind of at the wrong time. So it's like, let's say you go on a job site or someone reaches out to you about a job, you find out about it, then you start to look for, do I know anybody who works at this company? Do I know anybody who does this? Let me reach out to them now. So your email is all, hey, I have this opportunity. I saw this job. Can we have quick 15 minutes to talk so I can find out about this job? And if you don't know this person or you haven't spoken to this person in a long time, they're like, who are you? I don't have time for this. Maybe they don't even check their LinkedIn. Like, there's just so many opportunities for you not to get to the ultimate goal that you're trying to reach because your timing is off. So it makes sense then with this whole idea of pre-gaming that you're networking before you actually need something. That's the best time to build your network. That's the best time to reach out to someone because it's no longer asking them, what can you do for me? I need this from you. But it's like, hey, this is a mutually beneficial conversation. I just want to talk. I want to find out about this industry. I want to find out about this company. I want to find out about these different jobs. Hey, Orlando. So this is just an opportunity for you to really, get in before you actually need the thing. So once you build a relationship, once you start talking to the person, once you start, you get this relationship undergoing, when it is time for you to start applying to jobs, when you do, need to ask a favor or ask them to connect you to someone, there's already a frame of reference. You've already started speaking to them. They already, have you in their purview as someone that they're connected with. So those are my 4 tips for pre-gaming your job search. This, again, should be happening before you submit a resume, before you apply. This is prepping you for your process. So for the member of the Career Success Circle who asked about should she start her job search now, my answer was yes, and in this capacity. So no, maybe you're not applying to jobs in this new state that you're moving to. You're not quite ready to do that yet. You don't know, where you live. You don't know. You have to close out things in your current state, fine, but you can definitely start the pregame process. Find out about the culture in this new state that you're going to. Find out about the companies. Start connecting with people. Do all of these things that are, my 4 tips that I've just outlined, and that will put you on the right foot to have a strategic, intentional, and deliberate job search that actually gets results and that is successful. A lot of my clients, they when they are doing job searches, they find their jobs pretty quickly. I had a client at the beginning of this year who found his new job in 3 weeks, and people hear that and they're like, how is that possible? How are you able to find a job in 3 weeks at a great company? And he had like multiple job offers. He had 3 job offers that he was leveraging within a 3-week period. And it's because his pregame was strong. The pregame is when all the magic happened. It wasn't just going and applying all willy-nilly and not having a strategy. It was setting it all up before you do that initial, reach out, that initial search part of the strategy. So the pregame is really important if you want to have a successful job search, if you really are looking to have more than just a job, right? More than just, oh yeah, this is a place where I go from 9 to 5, but I really am not fulfilled. If you're trying to have a fulfilling career and a successful career, then you want it to be strategic, and the pregame is like the secret ingredient to make sure that your search is successful. So just to go over those tips again, number 1 is to determine whether or not you are running away from or moving toward your next opportunity. You want to make sure that you're not running away, you're not being negative, that you're being positive and thinking about how can I flip my mindset to make it be that I am positively moving towards my next opportunity. You want to create your dream job profile. And DREAM is an acronym. D is for development, R is for relationships, E is for engagement, A is for acknowledgement, M is for money. You want to create your list of target opportunities and target companies, and then you want to use that list and start strategically networking. So those are my tips for pre-gaming your job search. If you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to me, Dorianne@yourcareergirl.com. And if you enjoyed this live stream, if this was useful to you and you've received something that you can actually put in place and put in practice in your own job search, then I want you to head on over to Your Career, to the Your Career Girl private Facebook group, which is called Career Success Circle. And I'll put the link in the description for this live stream. But this is really a way to connect with like-minded, success-oriented professional women to really jumpstart your career success. So we have, live streams in there as well. I answer career questions. It's really a community where we're sharing and we're building each other up. So head on over to the Career Success Circle and join our private Facebook group there. So that's all I have for you. Happy Friday. I hope that your week has been amazing and that you have an even better weekend, and I will talk to you later.